Welcome back into Main Street Living. Now, guys, while we may each have different ideas about our favorite forms of art, we can all agree that our days are so much more colorful and interesting when the arts are part of our life.
Oh, it's so true, Danielle. And Randy Cohen with Americans for the Arts is incorporating art into your everyday life and also your vacation plans. I'm all about this. Welcome to Main Street Living.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Yes. So most of us have probably heard of the organization Americans for the Arts, but may not understand exactly what you do. So, what is the mission of Americans for the Arts?
Americans for the Arts, we are a national organization and we're looking to connect every American to the arts to make sure everyone has the opportunity to attend, to create, and to make sure all of our kids and all of our schools have access to a quality arts education.
Yeah, we a quality arts education, and I'm digging the tie that you
Thank
got on.
you.
I
Thank
love
you.
it.
That is artist made. You're talking about, artists and summer and tourism and wearable art. This is from
Ooh,
an
I
artist in
gotta say
Albuquerque.
something. Speaking of wearable art, how about functional art?
Look
I
at you.
was just at an art gallery when I was up at Penn State, and
Hmm.
I bought these glasses, and they're made from Milano glass. Isn't that
Wow.
gorgeous?
Beautiful,
Yeah.
Look
beautiful.
at that. Well, you're coming back bearing gifts of art, Cheryl. But Randy, I have to ask you. Art is really important. It's a part of life, and it can be found in many places, as well as many ways beyond just going out to a play or even to a museum. So talk a little bit about what are some of the easy ways to incorporate art into our everyday lives.
Well, those glasses are the perfect example. I mean, the
Aw.
arts can just completely infuse our life and cut across everything we do, individually as a family for pleasure in the workplace. But I got to tell you, an easiest thing, take a class. I remember one summer, when the kids were young, they took a ceramics class. It was,
Ooh.
summer and it sounded like so much fun. We all signed up for one and we did it as a family. Um, and when the kids left home, those glorious empty nest days, my wife and I took up ballroom dancing and we started dancing together. And one of the interesting things during the pandemic, because talk about all this like maker experience, and there's arts maker spaces in our communities. There's been a huge growth in the share of the population um, making art. How many people like got ordered the ukulele online, or and so I'll tell you what I did. I took up knitting. I always wanted to try knitting. And I had the aunts and the grandma, I just love the little click and clack of those needles. And um, and I would make like the world's longest scarf. I was just like up and down, up and down. There's like a line of giraffes out front because I was the only one making a scarf long enough to wrap it around those necks. But um, it's great, and all around our communities, this summer especially, there's just arts events, plays and exhibitions and public art, and of course, concerts. A lot of them are free in summer.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And one thing I really love is all the art festivals too. I love buying things like the jewelry, earrings. I actually bought these earrings at an art festival from somebody who made them. This is glass as well. I guess I have a thing for glass. But it's all really pretty. And we're still in summer vacation season. In my mind, it doesn't end. So, what are some other ideas for adding some more art to our lives?
There's obviously there's all the arts making and but it's really easy just to find all the kind of events that are happening. But what I find fascinating is sort of where you find the unexpected art experience. And so I'm in the DC area, and one of the things we have every summer is called Opera in the Outfield, and it's at our baseball stadium. And on an away date, they do a live simulcast of an opera on the big screen. And you can sit on the grass, you can sit in the bleachers, the concession stands are open. I was going to say, would you rather have a chili dog and a beer when you're watching the opera? And 20,000 people show up to that. And they do that, in Dallas and San Francisco and um Or if maybe you're going away this summer, right, and you're taking a trip or something, um like passing through North Carolina, for example, check the North Carolina Arts Commission, and they
Ooh.
have these arts trails and music trails, and basically you can kind of build a 3, 4, 5 day trip. There's one called African American Music Trails of Eastern North Carolina, and it's
Yeah.
across 8 counties.
Oh,
um,
wow.
and it's everything you need there. It's like, here's the great art and when things are happening, and here's where to stay, here's where to eat.
Oh, it's
So
perfect. And
the
we're in Virginia.
packaging.
So Quincy and I are in Virginia, so it's not that far.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're just a drive down there. And you can see a lot of communities, a lot of areas will do this. So honestly, just look up like arts trails near me, or arts and culture trails. And
Hmm.
so like, you seems like you love glass art. And up in the Northwest, I remember a few years ago, there they are, the glasses, the earrings. They had this a trail of glass artists across Oregon,
Ooh.
Washington, and even up into Canada. And you're just like, hey, let's make a 5 day trip, and so
Hmm.
there's a lot of ways to do it.
Yeah, well, like one idea that has gained a lot of attention lately is the cultural heritage tourism. Now, what exactly is that, and how does it actually enhance the vacation?
So cultural tourists are basically anyone who enjoys a destination's history, heritage, the art, tradition, the music, the food, culinary tourism, literature, architecture, and it's it really, the art and heritage and the culture are what create these authentic cultural experiences. When
Mm,
we travel somewhere, right? We want to see what's going on. And I'll tell you, the research is interesting, whether it's international travelers or domestic travelers. Folks are looking for authentic cultural travel
Mm.
experiences. And so basically, I think of it as it's often the answer to the question of what's the one place I should eat, when I'm in
Ah,
town, and
yes.
where do the locals like to hang out? And and some cities offer tours like of their neighborhoods, and the art and the history and the heritage. And I remember cultural and heritage tourism. A number of years back, there was a White House conference on cultural tourism, because it's a big thing. It's about community development, it's economic development, and Garrison Keeler was the speaker, and he basically said all tourism is
mm.
cultural tourism.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you said that because that's one thing that I love to work into wherever I go is just diving into the culture, getting to know the people, asking a lot of questions. And what are some additional resources that people can use to look things up before we go?
Our we used to have to depend on travel agents. I don't know. I'm old enough to remember travel agents. I don't know if
Hey, me too.
everybody
Me too.
else
I
is.
still
All
use
right,
them.
good, good. But now the search engines are just our best friends, because, like, you could go just type in visit Topeka, or what to do in Sioux Falls this summer, or
Hmm.
free outdoor
Nice.
concerts in Danbury. I was just up in Connecticut,
Oh
and
my
these are all
God.
things I've checked.
Danbury. I have
And
family there.
yeah, and you know what? Type it up and you'll find all kinds of events. And so
Ooh.
it's so easy to find, and it's so easy to plan now. Um and it's so that's just, again, just the technology and the search engines are just our best friends. And you can find a little bit what's off the beaten path too,
Yeah.
um and come back with those. And it's those stories, right? You want to come back with the stories. We live in an experience economy, and um we want to travel, and we're taking the selfies, and here's where we ate, and here's what we did. And um
And here's
Well,
what we bought.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, Randy, because we definitely got to go, but talking about the technologies, how can viewers find more information and or get involved in Americans for Arts for the arts?
So, Americans for the Arts, there it is. It's the website, americansforthearts.org. Go to our website. You'll find all kinds of information about the arts. You can also go to artsactionfund.org if you want to learn a little bit more about the arts and how we keep those organizations going too. So you've always got great arts and culture as your
Yay!
destination.
You're fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. All right, Cheryl. Well, we're just rolling through this show, and let's make sure this trip continues. So we're gonna roll down the river, Nolan
Rolling,
style.
rolling.
Nolan style. We'll be right back.